and welcome to Share a Beer Show 523. And it's just odd that it's not like 524 or 525. You know what I'm saying? Because show 5, it's kind of a big deal show. We've got some new things we're going to be testing out here, man. So let me bring in the intro though.
Special fuck you shout out to Joe D.
Thank you.
And the rest of his craft beer cunts.
Thank you.
Just noticed he's fucking talking shit. Liquor drinkers on YouTube.
Oh.
Fuck you, Joe D.
Thank you.
You fat piece of shit.
Thank you very much.
I'm the king of smoke, there is none higher. Sucker beer geeks should call me sire. Burn my kingdom, you must use fire. I won't stop smoking till I retire. Now I rock the party, come correct. Smoke is on time and the beers connect. Got the right to smoke and will elect. And others can't stand me, but give me respect.
And that is our very own MC No Static right there, man.
Right.
And that kind of leads into, I wanted to make sure to have the intro playing because that leads into something I want to say. I want to bring everybody in up to date with what I want to do. So and we're going to test it out tonight. I want to shorten the talking about our beer portion by me like looking up every beer. I'm gonna try not to do that. If something sounds super interesting, I will go back and look it up on Untapped. But pretty much, I'll just leave it up to you guys to, hey, I'm having this beer and this is what it is and this is the ABV and this is the IBUs and all that sort of thing. And then we want to get into the malt liquor report a little sooner to leave room for music. I want to bring in a music portion of the show now where we talk about all things music, whatever might be important to you. I want to bring in the latest. I buy a lot of vinyl. Mark buys vinyl. Bum has knowledge on music. So I think we can have an interesting music conversation here. Which will follow the malt liquor report. And then we can also casually talk about sports, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever the case may be. But with it being football season and it's kind of that sweet spot in American sports right now where you've got football, basketball's about to start, hockey's about to start, baseball's going into the playoffs. It's that real cool sweet spot. And for those of us that do keep up at NASCAR is kind of, heading into the playoffs. So, what do you think there, Bum?
About NASCAR?
Well, not about implementing these new, going another direction into another level of the Share Beer Show evolution.
I'm all for it. As you always have said, Joe, it's all about evolution and not radical evolution. One day this is totally different than what we were doing last week. Every good thing always evolves.
Yeah, we just keep evolving with the times. And there was a time I wanted to bring cigars into the show. The issue I had with cigars is that I didn't want to smoke them indoors. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to smoke in my house. And so, and then there's that health part of it and all that sort of thing. So that just kind of took away from it a little bit. But this is definitely another hobby that I share with Mark as far as the audiophile part of it, but it's really just a conversation about music, which is similar to the conversations that we have on this show regularly about beer. each of us is different into a different level of beer. Zach jumps in on the show and he's really into brewing, and each of us is into different styles and casually into this and into that. But we still have a great conversation. I think that we can add music into it and really add another level to it. So what are you having now, Mark?
I'm having one of the beers that you so graciously gave us. The Citra Single Hop IPA.
Oh, I literally have one right here as well.
Yeah. And just poured it. It is like a milkshake IPA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna pour mine too now that you.
Easy, juicy, and definitely all Citra, all the time.
Here's mine. Label out. And
yeah, it's delicious. The boss even likes it.
And does the boss normally like hazy IPAs?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. We got a 6-pack of Monday Night Brewing. They have a session. It's a new session IPA, kind of a session hazy IPA that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Real kind of citrusy, fruity, and Pam just had one of those and really liked it. So yeah, as long as it's not too bitter, like really super dank stuff. No, she doesn't like. But this has got just nice, nice hop aroma and flavor.
So
bitter, but not over the top. Yeah.
If
super drinkable, you wouldn't know it's 7%. Yeah.
Because the 7.1 is hidden really well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the good thing about it. It's got that real nice kind of fruity, more citrusy sort of hop to it, which is great, Yep. Still has a little bit of a bite, but it's not that real harsh, grassy bite that you get from, like 120 or something like that.
Yeah, this is kind of floral and citrusy. Yeah, very, very nice. Very well done.
It definitely is. It reminds me a lot of that bag that I had of Citra hops. It's the beer tastes and smells like it tastes. You know what I'm saying? With that Citra hop, which is cool because it says Citra is the first word on the can. So you better be getting that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it because and that was unfortunately the only hazy the only hazy IPA that I have from Tombstone at that time. So
we still have, what do we have left on this? And we got the Juicy Jack you gave us and the other barley wine.
Yeah.
Their main barley wine. So
yeah.
We'll get to those at some point in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Let me put a link to the show in the chat here. So if anybody else wants to jump in, you're welcome to, man. There we go. So I put that in the chat. So anybody wants to jump in, you're more than welcome to. Bum, what are you having, brother?
I'm having a bad beer. Well, semi-bad beer. Not a horribly bad beer, but a semi-bad beer. I'm drinking something that I have not seen for sale in Pittsburgh in years and years, possibly more than a decade. Good old Dundee Honey Brown Lager.
Oh, wow.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Mark, you remember that?
Yep.
It's suspiciously listed as Dundee Brewing, Rochester, New York. So we all know where that came from.
Yeah. Isn't it funny because at first, one of the first times we didn't necessarily know, which is years and years ago, but you start putting two and two together over the years, and now you see those things, and it's just a big flag for us now.
Yeah. But I was actually excited when I saw this in the beer store in Detroit. I was like, geez, I didn't even know they still made Dundee Honey Brown.
And that's a big can, too. You would have
24-ounce can. Somewhere in my garage, I have a bottle from like 30 years ago, which I will, when I check it in on Untapped, that bottle will accompany this picture, but long unavailable in Pittsburgh.
So, and I'm double fisting because I also got excited and poured my citrus single hop that Mark is also having because he is having it, and I happen to have it right here on my desk. But the beer that I was really having was the Alaskan Cranberry Tart, which I don't even know how far out of date this bad boy is. It's been a minute since I bought this. But that's from Alaskan Brewing. I don't even know when. Have you ever had this beer, Mark or Bum?
No,
We don't get Alaska Brewing at all, and so I see it when we go to Chicago and definitely Colorado. I mean, it's there. But no, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, so this one's 5.8%. Man, I want to say I got this around like Thanksgiving, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's been a while since I bought this. But it wasn't bad last time I had it. So we'll see. I have yet to take my first sip. I just poured the bottom of
Did it come with your temperature controlled storage unit?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's that old. I don't think it's that old. I think it's literally this past so it's about a year. Right?
It's fresh.
It's fresh, right? Yeah. So it's fresher than some of the other stuff. So not too bad. But I do got some beef to pick with somebody in a minute. I'm gonna sip on this and then oh man, that is not bad. Okay, now for the beef. It's actually really fruity still. It still has quite a bit of cranberry. It's actually held together really well. It's not bad. It still has that nice little sour tartness to it. Just that little bit that cranberry can have. You know what I'm saying? It's not bad. Not super super great, but I mean, yeah, I'd probably give it like a 3.75 or 3.5. You know what I'm saying? But I got some beef to pick with another person who happens to jump in on this show from time to time, and there ain't gonna be no named, but I'll just give initials. Rob J. But I got a friend to pick at Rob J. We come out with our own glass, and what does Rob J have to do? Oh, he announces, "Oh, I've got a glass too, and you can pre-order yours." Right? Yeah. So Rob J has his own glass now. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I did see a thing on Instagram where he posted it. Yeah.
I didn't see that, but you know what, Joe? You can't criticize Rod for that. There's a total difference here. Rod was smart enough to be able to make a profit on his glasses.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. You don't ever accuse me of being smart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Did he actually selling them? I didn't see. What is he selling them?
That was his thing. Was he was going to sell them. So I want to make sure to give him some props too and share his post here. So let me share the screen real quick and make sure to do.
I lost your video again. I'm gonna go out. Go ahead and take me out. I'll take myself out and then add me back.
Okay.
Yeah, you took a loss on your own glasses, Joe.
Yeah, I did too. Now, see, someone's got to take the hit, and that's what I did. And
so he's got his picture on his glasses.
Yeah, he's got his picture and his website.
And
everything, and looking forward to my first beer glass to be launched shortly in the store. So yeah, make sure to go to Rod J's website there. You can see his website right on the glass, rodjbeerventures.com, and order his new glass, man.
That is pretty cool looking.
Yeah, he did a good job. I think that's actually his logo or something, if I'm not mistaken. So
who's gonna sell it? Okay, he's got a little online store, huh?
Yeah. So and that's his Instagram, of course. So yeah, make sure to check him out if you want to. But Yeah, I had a little beef to pick. You know what I'm saying? Because what have I said before on the show? Don't we set trends and everyone just follows? You know what I'm saying? We come to StreamYard. What does everyone else do?
Yeah.
Everyone comes to StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? We get a glass. Now everybody's going to have to get a glass. Can't we just, have something to ourselves for one? We go to Google Plus. Everybody goes to Google Plus. We started Share Beer. Everyone else had to have a beer talk show.
Yeah.
And Raw J Show is on Thursday nights. Beer Flow Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on YouTube.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he does jump on, he makes fun of me because I don't get it on his show.
Because you're a working man.
Yeah, I do happen to work on it during the week. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I would have continued to do my Friday show, which was that's kind of I missed that show because we had a whole different audience for that show.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun for me to come home from work and watch the replay like an hour after it ended. I love that.
Mhm.
I miss it.
Yeah, that was a different show, different vibe. I mean, it's completely different, which was fun. Yeah.
Mary Sadek. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, we've got a shout out from Coach here. Hello, fam. Shout out to Mandy Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
Coach, stay tuned. Stay tuned for the Malt Liquor Report, Coach. Don't go anywhere. That's all I'll say.
Bring the hate.
That's all I will say.
Well, with that in mind, we'll lead right into the Malt Liquor Report to leave room on the backside for our new segment, which will be I don't even know what we should call it, but maybe we'll do it and then think of a name for it afterwards. See how it, we'll come up with the name maybe this week or next week or so. We'll just see how it goes, play it by ear. But we'll lead into the Malt Liquor Report now. We'll bring in Billy D and we'll cue his music here.
Hopefully, Coach will stay tuned during this little warm-up segment here because Coach is getting some heat coming.
Oh,
Yeah, but we'll cover this real quick here. I pasted the link in the chat, Joe.
yeah.
We had a special announcement from the chairman this week for anyone who is able to watch the Browns-Ravens game tomorrow. I presume it's going to be on CBS. For anyone for whom that's your local game, tune in tomorrow because in one of the end zones, I want you to keep your eyes open for a guy in a Cleveland Brown shirt and a Make America Great Again baseball hat.
Oh boy.
Who's holding up a flat earth sign.
Oh boy. I got a feeling like there's
sign.
there's probably a few of them out there, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know about
That's
that.
about half the Cleveland fans, right?
What's that, Mark?
That's about half the Cleveland fans, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
So go to 45 seconds, Joe.
Okay. Wow. 45 seconds. Wow, you got right into it on this one.
Yeah.
I'll go 40 seconds. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Special announcement. Social media superstar, #1 provider of malt liquor entertainment on the internet, Steve Wide, will be attending the Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns game September the 29th. And I got a front row fucking ticket. Gonna be a lot of trolling.
Is he the troll? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Maybe some verbal assaults, possibly physical if any Raven fans want to take it that far. I'll be in a Cleveland Browns t-shirt with my Make America Great Again bowl cap. Oh, it's going to be double the heat. And I'm going to be in the front fucking row. Take bolt liquor video.
He doesn't say what section.
No.
Yeah, if you're going to watch the game, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens, look for social media superstar. I'm also going to have a little sign that says Flat Earth. Hoping to go trending on Twitter worldwide.
He didn't mention the mask, you know?
No, I don't think he's going to wear that.
Yeah, I don't know how well. Well, I guess some people do wear masks at football games.
And in one of his other videos from this week, he said he thought he was considering bringing signs that said Dorf 68 is a cunt.
That wouldn't fly.
And holding it up, but he knew that would get him ejected from the stadium.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to sacrifice his expensive seats.
Yeah.
So how far are you in on that video, Joe?
We're at 237, 38, 39.
Okay, jump to 10:55.
Okay, 10:55.
Won't be cruising down to Baltimore in my Chevrolet Corvette. I tell you what, I'm going to roll the fucking tape on my iPhone 7. Could get fucking crazy. Like when I was totally fucking inebriated, damn near fucking blacked out in Las Vegas. Cussing out people, telling them to throw themselves off the cliff. Could be like that. Stay fucking tuned.
Wait, it could get crazy with his iPhone 7.
Yes.
Oh boy, I mean he's really out there. iPhone 7's about as old as that Corvette right there.
Yep. So, yeah, that's it for the chairman. Everybody tune into CBS tomorrow. Look for that Make America Great Again.
Yeah. Another non-masked showing of the coach of the chairman.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's your little special announcement from the chairman. So we will conclude tonight's malt liquor report with an ultimatum that has been given by one of the high-ranking members of the MLDC.
Oh.
An ultimatum has been issued, or depending on who you are, you may pronounce it ultimatum.
Oh.
So there is your link, Joe, for you to click on. And the video is titled Last Chance Bum. You just play it from the beginning from Jay Vega.
I still have to figure out. I guess it puts him on the bottom. I keep forgetting that. I think it's at the top, and it's not. It's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Look at this guy.
There we go.
Where am I going?
Right from the beginning of the video.
All right, look here, bum. I'm tired of playing fucking games with you, son.
Yeah.
It's time for you to shit or get off the pot.
Oh!
Now, I've watched you down 40-ounce glass containers
All right.
of Schlitz Red Bull malt liquor.
He's giving you credit.
I've watched you down 24-ounce cans of Colt 45 double malt.
Barely.
And a 24-ounce can of good craft beer right now.
Colt 45 high gravity.
Oh, yeah, high gravity. Yep.
I recently watched you down a 42-ounce container, plastic though it was, of Magnum malt liquor.
What? I think he's making a list on you, bum.
And do it without much of a struggle.
No, I think you've struggled. I have to disagree with that.
I didn't struggle while I was doing it, but I struggled to stay on the show soon after.
You have the 10-minute malt liquor video in you, bum. And you know, just as well as we know, that you want to make the video.
No, but you can't, because you're you're a reporter. You're just reporting on the story.
Well,
So sometimes you have to get a little more involved, and
That's
it's like a weatherman that has to
we
get.
can discuss that later. Yeah, there's some gray areas there.
Scary ass is too worried about what a fucking asshole like Coach would say about you if you did.
Oh!
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Quit them zeros and get with the heroes, bum. Fuck the Share a Beer show.
Oh!
Malt liquor video. Time to, bum. Shout out to everybody watching my malt liquor videos.
The Share a Beer
Shout
show.
out to shout out to the fucking Texas Tarzan, Texas rabid raccoon.
I have no clue.
Malt liquor.
That was a pretty good ring, though. I got to give it. That was a pretty good little. What the hell kind of mask is that, man? That looks like some kind of eel or elf or some sort of character like that from some fantasy movie or something.
Not a clue.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But anyway, so you see how I'm really conflicted now. Joe, you're heading in the new direction with the Share a Beer show, and yet I have this other conflicting thing inviting me to come their way too. So I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. You're an impartial party.
Yeah.
You are just merely reporting
Yeah.
what's happening.
And Coach is with us here. Coach is in the
Yeah.
YouTube chat.
So we've got Coach that first said the MLDC just elected me as their new chairman. First order of business, move from boyhood and being a man by drinking a craft. Oh, this is the time the malt liquor report's supposed to start. And being a man by drinking a craft beer. And then the next comment is, Chairman, I wish someone kicked your daddy in the nuts. That way my craft beer drinking earth would not be fooled by your ugly ass. And then lastly, I literally hate this guy's voice. I never gave him permission to use my name. His mother screamed my name also, but for very different reasons.
Now, Coach, you realize that's not the chairman. It's Jay Vega that was, not the chairman.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he realizes that. He's just, he had to be quick to type right there. He was put on the spot, so he had to be quick to type. But he was under the gun. You know what I'm saying? He has people waiting for his response.
Yeah. So anyway, in response to that, I will say I myself probably will not make a malt liquor video between now and the end of the year. However, our special Share a Beer malt liquor report correspondent, Malt Mustang, who has his own YouTube channel, might possibly make his own malt liquor video. Stay tuned. Several of the MLDC are subscribed to Malt Mustang. I do know that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely interesting news. Well, thank you, Billy D. We appreciate it. Appreciate it as always. Very solid malt liquor report, as always. As brief as it is, it's still very substantial because it works every time.
Mm-hmm.
Works every time. That's right, baby. Just remember that. Oh yeah. So now we can get into our new segment, which would be uh music, whether and that would involve anything. So that would involve any sort of, if anybody's got any new releases they want to talk about, a favorite song, a favorite album that they've heard recently, whether it be digital or analog, whatever. If it involves music, then let's talk about it. I've got new records, so I can talk about that for sure. And I'll start out. I don't know, since I didn't research any beers, maybe I can research some of the music. What do you think, Bum?
Yeah, if you want to spend the time, depends on the artist. You can consult. Well, depending on who the artist is,
Yeah.
I
Well,
may be able to give you a little bit of info. If not,
what I'll do is, since a lot of people aren't going to hear or aren't familiar with, oh, here we go, aren't familiar with this particular group, I'll go ahead and share the screen on this one here. We've got Mark trying to jump in here. Let me stall for a few minutes. I don't know. Mark's thing is spinning and spinning, but it's struggling to.
much like a vinyl LP.
Yeah, much like. So let me jump him out and jump him back in. Maybe that'll help.
Mark's thing is spinning there at 33 and a third.
It is actually, isn't it? That's kind of funny. It is actually, huh?
Maybe if we can get it up to 78, he'll show up.
Yeah, maybe he'll show up then. Yeah, even if you got it up to 48, Hey, baby, how you doing? So, in any case, though, I can show this latest record that I just got is from Emotional Oranges. Emotional Oranges is like an modern R&B type group. Little electronica added in there, but mostly, just a modern sort of R&B. What I like about this record, and you can only get it, the vinyl at least, you can only get from their website. So it's kind of cool. The vinyl cover is an orange, as you can see, and if you can see the texture in that, it's textured like an orange.
I was going to ask you, from the look of it, I was going to ask you if there was some texture to that.
It's textured like an orange, which I find pretty cool, So Mark's able to finally jump in there with us.
Can you hear it? That's a freeze frame.
Yeah, he's frozen. So what I'll do is share the screen here. Whoops. Did I take myself out? What happened here? Nope. There we are. Okay. So I'll share the screen here. It looks like Mark's going in and out of freezing. But in any case, so this is the album cover. Now, what came in the album, you can see this is their website, emoranges.com. And you go here, you click here, and this is everything that came with the record. So you got the inner sleeve, well, the sleeve, and then you got a poster, and then of course the vinyl. So it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And they shipped it really quick. I got it in like literally on the fourth day that I ordered it. I had it in my hands. So it was really quick shipping. A good pressing. I don't know much about pressings, so anyone that could jump in and give me any sort of knowledge on these pressing houses, or and the quality of pressings, I'd really appreciate it, because there's a lot that I don't know about vinyl. You know what I'm saying? I just buy a lot of it and I play a lot of it. I clean it. I'm getting into different parts of it, but I just don't know all those details like that. but it's a good group. I enjoy this record literally from the first song to the last song. I really enjoy it, and it was a good feeling to literally buy it from the artist. You know what I'm saying? So you know you're supporting the artist. So that that was a good feeling. I haven't ever done that, so that was pretty cool. Um, by the way, we had Coach saying thank you, bum, and then ha ha ha.
You're welcome, Coach.
But if anybody's looking in or into modern R&B sort of sound, I know Emotional Oranges has one of those little followings. Um, I just kind of happened to get in on some of that, becoming a big fan of theirs. Also, though, I have a record that I just bought that Bum will know quite a bit about, and that's this group right here, Pink Floyd. This is Darker Side of the Moon. It was recommended to me last weekend to buy this album. I went on Amazon, bought a remastered copy. I think this cost me, I don't know, $21 or $22. Pretty cool because it has the album cover itself has a similar texture and feel as like the rubber-ish sort of feeling as your phone case may have. It has a rubberish sort of feel to it. It's pretty cool. There's some numbers on the back here. I don't necessarily know what that means. Maybe someone else does, but I don't know what that means. I know that it does mean stuff. I just don't know. The gatefold and right. This is what you call this part, right? Bum, the gatefold.
Yes, sir.
So that is pretty cool. I know that different releases and different media that it was released on have different looks. It's the same basic look, but different. Like for example, the CDs, the different versions of CDs that were released over the years. Because this was recorded what, Bum, in 73?
73, yeah.
So the different versions have looked a little different. Some of them were lighter, some of them were darker, like this one. This one's
And I'm not a Pink Floyd aficionado, so I shouldn't even be talking about this. But I think it's possible that in later vinyl releases of that album, maybe like into the late 70s, early 80s, they might have done away with the gatefold cover and just put it out as a single sleeve, which happened with a lot of artists back then.
Yeah, and that's very possible. With this one, they gave a lot of stuff. So it's not a 2 LP. This is a 1 LP, but it has both deals here. And inside of this other part of the cover, you get, I don't know, these 2 postcard looking deals. So you got these 2 postcards. Are these any significance?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what came in the original release of the album.
Oh, wait a minute. There's stickers. There's a crease back here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but in any case, there's a crease back here where you could obviously pull these apart so that they would stick on something. So these are actually 2 stickers. And of course, I'm not going to pull them apart, but that'll stay like that. And then it came with 2 posters, which are a good size. So I don't know if you recognize these posters, but pretty cool. 2 big posters come in here as well.
Joe, the best place for you to look up stuff like that, if you just go to the Wikipedia entry for that album, it will get into the different releases of the album, and it will tell you any extras or anything else that came with the original vinyl release.
So, I mean, but for just over $21, I mean, that's quite a bit of stuff I think that's quite a bit of value for your money. You know what I'm saying?
And that is one of the greatest selling rock albums of all time. I don't think it left the charts until it came out in 73. I don't think it left the Billboard top 200 until sometime in the 80s, believe it or not.
Really?
It stayed on the charts that long.
Wow. I
It
didn't realize
never
that.
left the top 200. Are you there, Mark?
Maybe for a little while. We'll see.
Mark, can you confirm that for me about Dark Side of the Moon? Did it not leave the Billboard Top 200 charts until sometime in the 80s?
Oh, I think it was even in the 90s. Yeah.
Maybe
it was
in
up there for
okay,
like
maybe
20,
in the
25
90s.
years. A long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
It's like
really?
a record-setting album as far as not leaving the charts.
Wow.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that at all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like one of the most
Wow.
popular albums of all time. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It
Oh,
sold
wow.
more. It sold more albums. It sold more copies of one album than most. A lot of bands would ever hope to sell in their entire catalog for decades.
Yeah.
And you just helped, Joe. You bought one. You bought
I
one.
know,
See?
right? I had no idea. I really didn't. But I'm looking it up now on Google because I feel like I kind of have to right now.
Yeah. Maybe it was the top 100 albums, Mark.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
it
that might be it. Yeah.
So right here, according to this would be Wikipedia, Dark Side of the Moon is the 8th studio album by English rock band Pink Floyd, released on March 1st, 1973 by Harvest Records.
Yep.
Let's see here if we can get anything else on this.
that was Harvest Records in the UK, not in the United States.
Yeah. It was. What was the equivalent? I don't know what it was.
Was it just EMI in the United States?
Yeah, I think maybe it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says new material was recorded in 2 sessions in 1972 and 1973 at Abbey Road.
Abbey Road, yeah.
Yeah, Abbey Road Studios in London.
Mhm.
Dark Side of the Moon received official critical acclaim upon release and has since been hailed by critics as one of the greatest albums of all time. The record reached #1 on US Billboard Top LPs and Tape chart, now known as the Billboard 200, and charted for over 900 weeks in total. With an estimated sales of over 45 million copies, it is Pink Floyd's bestseller and one of the best-selling albums worldwide.
Yeah. So, 900 weeks is almost. That's like 18 years. That's a long time. Yeah.
Let's see. So here's a list. Let's share the screen on this. Here's a list of the top selling records. Of all time. Here you go. Just a few of them. So you got 40 million copies or more. Michael Jackson's Thriller, 1982.
Yeah.
Certified copies were 47.3.
We're back. All right, I might be able to join on. It looks like their internet's back up here, so let's fingers crossed.
Oh, okay. And then you've got the Eagles' their greatest hits from 71 to 75 at 41.2. You got AC/DC Back in Black.
Yeah.
That was 1980 at 26.1. And then certified copies. Okay. And then claimed copies was 50. And then you got Pink Floyd, Darker Side of the Moon, 1973, progressive rock at 24.2. That's millions of copies, right? And that's certified copies. The claimed copies were 45. And then Whitney Houston, Bodyguard. We forget about that one, but Whitney Houston, that Bodyguard soundtrack was humongous.
Yeah.
And that's 28.4 certified copies, but 45 claimed, which would actually put it above Darker Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
And then you have Meatloaf, Eagles, Bee Gees, Fleetwood Mac, and Shania Twain.
Shania Twain is on that list. Oh my God!
Yeah,
All the other ones I knew about or have heard about, but certainly not Shania Twain.
Shania Twain throws you for a loop, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Whitney Houston is top 5 right there, man. Easy. And Meatloaf, I didn't have any idea was on
Yeah.
Bat Out of Hell, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But the Eagles being on there twice.
Eagles' greatest hits. Yeah, one of the biggest selling albums of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You have the greatest hits in Hotel California. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, that's huge right there, man.
Yeah.
So also another record that I got, well, not super recently, but fairly recent. Whoa, got Mark's junk happening right there. What's going on there?
Oh, come on. A little junk never hurt no one.
Yeah. Is Dr. Dre, man, the Chronic. This is more modern day, within the last 20 years equivalent of Darker Side of the Moon. The Chronic is turning into that record, isn't it? Don't you think? It is for me. As far as hip hop goes, that is the Chronic is the album. I mean, it's like I mean it, and you know what, to kind of relate a record to me, for me, with beer, to me this is the Pabst Blue Ribbon of it meaning to put it in context, to me Pabst is not necessarily a great beer. It's not. It's a memory beer for me. And for me, the Chronic, I bought this because of the memories of what was happening when it came out, and a part of my life that was happening when this came out, that was pretty damn good. And I would relive over and over and over again if I could. So I think music for me, I listen to a particular song, and I mean it can take me right back to that moment. I don't know if music is that way for you, Bum.
Oh, sure, certainly. I approach music from all different angles, and I can even approach it from the corny, nostalgic standpoint. I could name you numerous songs and albums that I wouldn't normally listen to, but I can get into those and listen to them because it takes me back to a certain point in my life.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It's just I want to see where this one lies as far as records go as well.
So, Joe, I have a question for you about that particular album.
Sure.
What year did it come out? And after you answer that, you're holding up the vinyl.
Uh-huh.
Did that album originally come out on vinyl, or is that a later vinyl release? Did that just come out on CD?
I think it actually did come out on vinyl, because that was the kind of end of that big era, but DJs were still a big deal back then.
Yeah. When was that? Like 80s? Ooh, see, I'm not even going to guess a year.
Early 90s, 92.
Okay.
But
it might have come out on vinyl, yeah.
It was probably still on vinyl. I don't know for sure, because I had it on CD.
Yeah, because vinyl reached its low point late 80s, early 90s, where there were some, most major releases were not coming out on vinyl.
Yeah. Let me share the screen on this one, because it says right here, the Chronic peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. And has been certified triple platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, with sales of 3 million copies in the United States, which led to Dr. Dre becoming one of the top 10 best-selling American performing artists in 1993. And as we know, he's a gazillionaire now because of the way he's taking care of business. you know. But man, was this album? I mean, this album when it came out, it was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was a big deal. This album for sure. Um, so, and as we know, we've got someone else that's occasionally on the show that was literally just on the show moments ago via tape. Also has this, not the vinyl, right? Or does he have the vinyl? The chairman.
Oh yeah, he had the vinyl.
Yeah, he has the vinyl as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the actual vinyl. It's a 2 LP set, by the way, for those that do care about these things.
No, go ahead, Joe. Just the fact that you're saying that's a 2 LP set makes me think it was originally a CD
Probably.
only
Well, it
release.
originally was a CD. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the CD era, they went over the standard running time of vinyl, which was 40 some minutes.
Yeah.
So then when they did later vinyl re-releases, they had to put them out on 2 LPs.
Oh, well, that might be. That might be. But you get this. What do they call it? Is this just an insert? What is this called when it's not a sleeve?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Insert. Yeah.
Insert.
It just has, front and back.
Yeah.
So you've got some cool art on the front, and then description of the songs on the back, and executive producer and all that, who's incarcerated right now, I believe.
Didn't go so well for him.
Yeah, it didn't work out so well for him. Yeah, he turned out to be a real thug. But you can see there the inner sleeves that I use are disc keepers. I love these sleeves. Mark recommended them, and I have now bought many of them. But they work great at keeping the static away from your vinyl. And I enjoy these that are rounded, not the square ones, because when you do have sleeves, the nice cardboard sleeves, you can put them right in there and still keep those sleeves. And sometimes there's some records like this Pink Floyd one, actually, I'll show you, where I kind of like the cheaper throwaway sleeves that they give with you. So I'll just put one of these on the inside of those.
Yeah.
They fit nicely inside of these. And I like them because I can kind of square them up like this. And so they still go in there semi kind of square-ish. But then I'll show you, they will fit and still nicely into the cover and don't stick out and don't protrude too much. So that's just a couple a few of the latest vinyl that I've got. You have anything to share there, Mark?
Oh, do I have anything to share? Of course I have. Well, 2 days ago,
Mark has nothing to share.
Exactly.
the 50th anniversary of this.
Oh, yeah.
Of Abbey Road, and this was a. So I got, they came out with a new remastering done by Giles Martin. So, the son of
George
original Mr. Martin, and this has got a lot of good reviews as being very, faithful and a good job of they remastered it from the original analog tapes. So
I'm gonna look that one up there too, Mark.
What
is it? Is it the Abbey Road?
No, just Abbey Road. Just Abbey Road.
ABBEY, Mark. I mean, Joe.
Okay.
Yep. And very, 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 very well done. I have a CD version that was from 1987, which was not done very well. I mean, it's okay, but I'm going to compare them directly. But I've heard we played this last night. It was fantastic. Nice and quiet, nice quiet vinyl, nice and flat, so no warps or anything like that. And just very, very well done. I mean, it was originally recorded in mono. I mean, that was, all the Beatles albums were essentially done in mono. But
Mark, I thought that was the first one recorded just in stereo.
No, I think it was they did a mono and a stereo, and I guess they actually preferred the mono. The Beatles actually preferred the mono.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that was the first one that was not available in a mono mix.
Yeah, but yeah, you can't get it in a mono mix. But and they did release stereo, so maybe they would have released it both. But the preference, the artist preference was mono, I guess. But they did a nice job on the stereo remix here. It is stereo, but it's not exaggerated. It's very well done. So if you're into the Beatles and you like Abbey Road, this is a good one. And this is just a single album. They've got 2 or 3 versions. You know, they've got a double album with outtakes and a big book, and that's like $80. This was $21 on Amazon, so very reasonable for this. So,
and if you study that cover
mm-hmm.
close enough, you'll see 10 clues that will, even 50 years later, prove to you that Paul McCartney is indeed dead.
I'm not aware of that.
Well,
tell me more, Tom. Tell me more.
So let me share the Wikipedia on this one. You've got released September 26, 1969 in the UK, and then October 1st, 1969 in the US. The length is what, 4703?
Yeah, right around there, around 47, 48 minutes.
The label, of course, is Apple, which was the huge debate, over the years with Apple itself. And let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see. There was a few other facts here, but Abbey Road it was an immediate commercial success and reached #1 in the UK and US. Although it initially received mixed reviews, with some critics describing its music as inauthentic and bemoaning the production's artificial effects.
Yeah, and they do have a fair amount of those, but I think they're very well done. So.
There's Moog synthesizer on that album. That's the only Beatles album there's synth on.
Yep, it is. That is true. That is.
Yeah, when you listen to Maxwell's Silver Hammer, that blows my mind to hear Moog synthesizer on that album, because it's like, no, the Beatles are the '60s. The synth is from the '70s, and that's like you hear that on a Beatles song.
Yeah, and I am gonna get the 2 CD version. Because the 2 CD version of the vinyl version, it has the book, is like $89. I'm not paying that.
Yeah, I saw that super deluxe version. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a super deluxe CD version for $18. So you get the the CD plus an extra CD of outtakes plus a book in a miniature version.
Right.
So I'm gonna get that for $18. I mean, that's worthwhile.
So, Mark, I noticed, like, on the Abbey Road, you left the, what would you call it, the plastic, the cellophane on the.
Yeah, I left the shrink wrap on. So all I did was pierce the seam here, because it's not a gatefold, so it's just a single thing. So that way I can leave the sticker on.
Okay.
On there, yeah, if it was a gatefold, I wouldn't do that, because half the fun of getting a gatefold is to open it up and see, what's inside. So then the second album I got, and I don't know.
Was there a download card in there as well for the digital version or no?
I think there. Well, let me see. That's good. I don't think there was.
Or was it one of those deals where you ordered it? Amazon has sort of those exclusive deals sometimes where
there is no download card here, but if you buy it through Amazon, it's part of Amazon Music, so you can
get the download, right?
But I'm gonna buy the CD. The CD is out of stock, but it's gonna come back in stock in a few days. I'm gonna buy the 2 CD set. I think it's like $18, and that'll be worth it for sure. The second album I got is jazz from Blue Note. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of this guy, Babyface Willett.
I've seen. I'm not familiar with his stuff, but I mean, I've seen that record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's on Blue Note, Mark?
Blue Note, yeah.
Okay.
And they've they've got a series of reissues that they call the Tone Poet series. So they reissue it. They go straight from the analog tapes, reissue it on vinyl, and they do it's a nice gatefold album. And this guy, I mean, I'd heard some of the songs before, but I never had the album before. This was pretty reasonable, $25. Super well done. The vinyl is dead flat, dead quiet, very well recorded.
Yeah, Blue Note does a good job.
Yeah, and this is their Tone Poet series, so I'm gonna get more of these because they do a really good job, and that's a genre of music that I've been wanting to get. I've always been interested in. I've got a bunch of CDs that are jazz, but I've never really paid attention. Tried to dig in a little bit and learn more about it. So,
Mark, you could go down and 10 more rabbit holes.
Oh, it's all the variety.
100 more rabbit holes.
It's incredible. But I do like jazz guitar, so I've got a lot of Wes Montgomery, for example. I mean, that's one everybody's heard of. I like, this guy. I think he uses the Hammond B3 organ, kind of the standard for that. And so if you like jazz organ, blue, this is kind of bluesy, a little bit of funky, for the time, 1961. Fantastic album.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out because I love Hammond, the Hammond B3, jazzy, funky, bluesy stuff,
Yep.
all that stuff combined, right up my alley. I'm gonna have to check him out.
Check out Babyface Willett. It's kind of a tragic story. He was 28 at this point when he did this in 1961. And at that point, he'd been a touring jazz musician for 14 years. So he was touring full time since he was 14 years old because that was the only way he could make a living. The only way he could make a living.
How did he die?
Dying at like 35 or 36 years old. I mean, just flash in the pan, incredible talent, and then just gone way too soon. So
how did he die?
I think it was drug, alcohol, kind of addictive, kind of the typical.
What, a musician? No.
I mean, it's probably the first one that's ever done that.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
But yeah, this is a really good album they've got, and you'll find with Blue Note. I mean, they have, they've got a lot of the session artists.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of repeat from place to place.
So let me give you the personnel on that record. Babyface Willett, who's the organ. Grant Green on guitar, Fred Jackson tenor saxophone, and Ben Dixon on drums.
And I think Ben Dixon. If anybody watched the one with Kevin Spacey, the Netflix series, President. I can't think of the name. When he plays the president on Netflix.
Who?
Kevin
Spacey.
Oh,
yeah. I can't think of it.
He got in all that trouble, and so they kicked him off the show. I remember that part.
But he was from remember what town he grew up in? He grew up in Gaffney, South Carolina. If you remember, that was his hometown. And Ben Dixon is born in Gaffney, South Carolina. So there you go. I mean, so maybe he knew Frank,
Okay.
But,
so here, real quick, you had he had failing health.
Okay.
It forced him to return to Chicago, where his family resided. He died in 1971.
So he was 38 years old when he died.
Yeah, he lived from September 11th. Yep. Wow. Yep. September 11th, 1933 to April 1st, 1971.
Yep.
So he outlived your standard jazz musician.
Yeah, by a couple years. Normally it's mid-30s before they die.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
But, no, this is very good, and it's the Tone Poet series.
Anybody that plays Hammond organ, I'm all for listening to.
Yeah, that's very, very good. So yeah, definitely worth it. Check it out. And my copy of Pink Floyd's The Wall or Dark Side of the Moon looks just like yours, Joe, except mine doesn't Mine doesn't have a rubberized feel to it.
Yeah, I love the texture.
So I got multiple posters in here. You got,
Yeah, I got 2 posters in mine.
I got 3 in mine.
Oh, well, I got screwed.
So, but I bought mine like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So I got that one.
Yeah. That's the one I have. Yeah.
Okay. And then I got this one. And I hadn't looked at this in a couple years. That one?
No.
Okay. So that was the bonus one I got. And then you probably got this one too. I think you showed me this one where it's got the pictures. They're just totally high on all kinds of psychedelics.
Yeah.
But now did you get the Screaming Ladies, Joe?
I got stickers in mine.
Okay.
Did you get?
I got stickers too. Yeah, I got a couple. You get these stickers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what's the significance of those, Mark? What is?
Well, it's all part of it's the prism, the pyramids, the prism, all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, I really don't know. I just
they've attached to it in an acid trip somewhere. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Short of having little Mickey Mouse papers, none of us will understand. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is a very good album. And I will probably listen to it here in the next week or two. Once I clean it again, I've got to clean it, ultrasonically before.
and we can get into these different methods of cleaning vinyl and all that in a later show.
That's really geeky.
Yeah.
That's super geeky.
Yeah. But, cool. So is that all?
Going to some new music there, Bum. Babyface Willet.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
It's pretty cool. So what do you think, Bum, on our first? I don't know. What do you call this? Soiree, or what do you call it?
Soiree into the music scene. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a cool thing to do. We're still, sampling beers. Music is just, what brewery or what bar do you go to that's not playing some music?
Yeah.
I
mean, I can talk endlessly about music, not necessarily what my new vinyl purchases are.
Sure.
But I can certainly cover what my old vinyl purchases are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I'm all in.
Oh, okay. Here we go. We've got a question here. From Foamyhead, anybody know if Morphine or any of Mark Sandman solo releases are on vinyl?
No, I know nothing. I've heard of Morphine. I don't know about any vinyl releases from them.
Yeah.
And as far as Mark Sanderson, I don't know about his releases on vinyl.
No. Yeah, King of Smoke is coming out. It's going to be a 45.
Generally when I want to find vinyl like I'm doing right now, I'm looking up Morphine.
If you want to go and just delve into it completely, you can go to Discogs.
Yeah,
that's true.
Best play.
You can type in an artist or whatever, and it'll show all the versions of every album that's on there. So you can see CD, 8-track.
Well, here's some Morphine right here. This Morphine Cure for Pain, 180-gram vinyl, remastered, right here at $23.90, and cassette. And this is the beauty of it, man. Cassettes are making a comeback. A lot of people don't realize this. If you're going to buy a cassette deck, don't buy a new one. You want to buy an old one. You don't want to buy a new one because none of the new ones have any of that really good Dolby noise reduction. So you want to try to find an old one from the 90s, Mark. Is it like early 90s?
Mid 80s to
early 90s. I was going to say the 80s,
Yeah, it's like somewhere in there.
84 to 90, basically.
Yeah, basically. And the closer to the end of the, closer to the mid 90s as possible is what I'm thinking, because that's the era that my deck comes from. And my God, the sound that I can get, I've got a couple of brand new cassette re-releases, and they're great. I mean, you at least for me, I get that nice vinyl sound without having to flip the record. you know?
Yeah, you just have to flip the tape.
No, I don't even have to flip the tape. It flips on its own. It actually,
Oh, you mean auto reverse?
yeah, auto reverse. It fast forwards all the blank spots, and I mean the Dolby noise reduction uh, combined with some of the modern equipment is really pretty damn sweet. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's CD quality, but I can get pretty damn close, man. Especially with something that's recorded on good metal. I mean, I can get pretty damn close.
Well, Joe, I will give you some cassette advice if you ever see any vintage cassettes for sale.
Sure.
Do not ever purchase one of the double length cassettes, 2 LPs on one cassette. Do not do it.
Oh man, talk about thin tape.
yeah. Yeah.
20-minute tapes when the tape is about as
Yeah. Right.
It will eventually, well, the sound quality is not good to begin with. It will eventually stretch, snap, get caught up in your mechanism. Don't do it.
It's a lot of fun getting back into analog audio, and the quality of cassettes. Vinyl is exploding so much that vinyl's getting expensive. You can get really good quality cassettes for next to nothing regularly at the same record store that is selling records for 60 or 80 bucks for a particular good copy. Don't get me wrong. Will sell a similar used copy of a cassette that's just as good a quality for $3. It's insane. You know,
I remember maybe even 10 years ago, my local stores would not even purchase used cassettes because there was no market for them.
yeah. There's there's a chain still here of record stores, and then there's also many other independent record stores, but there's a chain here in Phoenix that is really damn good. And I happen to go to the big store of that small chain, and man, it is busy in there. It is literally busy in there. There's a lot of people constantly in there, shopping for music, shopping for. I mean, they sell everything in there, so they sell used movies and all sorts of stuff. But overwhelming majority of it is still. It's so cool to go in there and flip through the records again. It's fun. It really is. It's and the cool thing about nowadays, as opposed to back in the day, was sometimes they'd have a listening station. Even if they did have a listening station, you only had maybe the latest cassette or 8-track or album that you could listen to. Now I literally walk in there, with my earbuds in, and I'm listening to music. And when I see a record, I can pull it up right there on my phone and listen to it right there and get an idea of what that record sounds like, because you don't always remember every record. And you're like, yeah, what was that? You know what I'm saying? Well, you've got millions of songs in your pocket, and you can just dial it up right away and listen to that. It's great. It's great. But for this, what do you got there, Mark?
I cleaned some records. I've got a few here. Cars, Heartbeat City. You guys remember that?
Oh, R.I.P. Rick Ocasek.
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And was it just old age or what?
He was 75 or 70, just depending on what source you believe.
Wow, that's like a like a Latin baseball player there, isn't it? Like I mean, I think a 5-year discrepancy. I mean, that's what they accuse the Puerto Rican players and all that sort of thing of.
Is that Cheap Trick there, Mark?
At Budokan.
Yeah, I thought so.
So I'm going through the C's and re-cleaning all my albums. So
Oh, okay. So is Clapton coming up next?
I know.
I don't have, I don't have any Clapton vinyl. I've got lots of Clapton CDs. But
Wow. Yeah, I need to. Let me.
he's on my list to get a few vinyl, but I want to get good. I want to get good quality ones.
Let me look Eric Clapton up. You've got right now.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, right now on, and just to let Foamy Head know, I buy, and I think Mark does too, an overwhelming majority of my vinyl right here on Amazon. Here's Slow Hand right here for $14. Are you looking at that? $14. Heck, I could have it tomorrow. All right. Damn you, Mark. I'm gonna have to buy this one now.
Hey, no, I am gonna. He is on my list of 2 buys.
For 15 bucks. How do you not buy this for $15? That's ridiculous, right? I swear to God, I'm buying this right now. I'm adding that to my cart right now. That is happening. That just happened right now. And I can have, huh? Yeah.
Go to spend more money.
And I can have it tomorrow. Like, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beauty of this. But in any case, but like Mark said, some of it just depends on the quality. I'm not expecting the best quality, but sometimes you actually do get good quality. The way Amazon marks stuff up and down all the time, you just never know.
And keep in mind, you might be getting good quality product and the music on it might suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that happens,
Eric Clapton, like many artists, has been up and down.
He has, but he's still a damn good guitarist.
Oh, sure, but you wouldn't know it from his last 30 years worth of LPs, though.
Yeah, that's I swear to God, I'm buying this thing. I don't want to miss out on that. I could have that tomorrow. That's insane, man. That is for $15. How do you not buy that? $16.28 with tax. How do you not buy that? Guaranteed delivery tomorrow. So I'll have this tomorrow with a few other records that I ordered. I mean, it's great. What was the other one he said? Mark Sandman. Let me look that up for him too.
Is he singer for Morphine? I don't know.
You got Mark Sandman. I'm seeing a lot of CD. Cassette. Oh, here's vinyl. $183. Yeah. That'll sit there for a while.
Available, but yeah.
Yeah.
Buy for $183.
Yeah, if you're that proud of it, you can keep it. You know what I'm saying? At least for a while. Yeah, I don't see anything but Morphine on here. As far as vinyl goes. So
the source, if you want from me, go to Discogs. That'll tell you. Pretty much type in anything, it'll tell you all the stuff.
That's true. I'll be right back.
Here we go, Mark. Here's what Clapton vinyl I have: Money and Cigarettes, original release, and Mark, as you can see, cutout.
Oh.
Yeah, bought it from the cutout bin, so probably cost me like $4 at the time.
It's probably a radio station promo or something.
No, it's not a promo. It was just an overstock.
Okay. Yeah.
And now here's the real cool thing. I'm almost tempted to wait for Joe to come back because this gets into the thing that Joe really seems to be into, the textured stuff.
Oh.
And Mark, you may not have ever seen this. Eric Clapton at his best, it's called. And you can't see the at its best, but it's embossed underneath the Eric Clapton.
It's a fold over? Oh, look at that.
This is the front of the album.
Wow, wait, hold on. What do you have there? What? I'm sorry, I missed that bum. What do you got?
This is called Eric Clapton at his best, and it's a compilation that came out, I believe, in the early 70s, and it compiles Clapton's career up until that point. So it includes stuff with Delaney and Bonnie, some of his solo stuff like Let It Rain, his stuff with Blind Faith, and some solo stuff of his from the 70s, plus a few unreleased things. But it's called Eric Clapton at His Best. This is the front of the LP, and it flipped open like that.
That is cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And this down here, this picture of him is embossed, and it's impossible to see here, but it says at his best, and it's embossed underneath the lettering there. But this lifts out.
Very
I
nice.
believe this is on Polydor Records.
Probably.
Yeah.
Do you know is that the original?
Yeah, it's the original release, and there's 2 single vinyl sleeves here. And this is on very thick vinyl
Oh yeah, that's probably 180 gram right there, man. That's
on the original Polydor label.
man, I would love to hear that. That is
And I'm sure there was a lot of licensing issues with this going on back then, because you guys travel from contract to contract, band to band.
Oh,
It's hard for these compilers to put out this stuff.
Came out in 1972.
72. There's no
And I'm on
what I can
Discogs
see.
right now.
no cream stuff on here.
Huh. Okay. Probably licensing issues.
Right. And speaking of which, let's hold the video out for Ginger Baker. I'm sure you heard, Mark. Ginger Baker's been on his deathbed since like Wednesday.
Ah. They're all gonna die, bum. They're all gonna die.
Yeah, and Ginger Baker's 80, so he is gonna die.
yeah.
But
But just think about it. We're getting, that means we're getting old, because
Yeah.
all the people we know. Okay, so if you want to buy one of those now, bum, like on a good, near mint, so very good condition, it's basically selling for
Wait, let me guess. 200?
No, for near mint media and near mint sleeves. So both the packaging and the vinyl and near mint is basically $40 to $50.
Oh.
And near mint vinyl, but okay sleeve is 15 to 20, looks like. So,
it's probably about what I paid for it in the 80s.
okay.
Now Foamy Head must be in Texas.
Yeah, I think he is.
But Texas or New Mexico, because that's where Hastings was at. But I've bought a few on, and this is his comment that I just had on the screen. I bought a few on Amazon. Some I have are old, and some I bought at Hastings before they closed.
Okay, Hastings Records, yeah.
Hastings is a good store. They had a lot of stuff. I bought Laserdisc from Hastings back in the day in New Mexico.
Yep.
But Mark, what was the name of those particular copies of those records that we saw at the show that some of those guys had? I know that those particular extremely good copies.
Oh, that's right. That retail, the guys that was selling the stuff for $400 for a
Yeah.
set, like
Yeah.
a 4-disc, 4 LP. Yeah, just great.
Aren't they like? Is it Master something or other, or they're like some kind of crazy copy?
I normally bookmark those things, but I didn't bookmark that because there's no way I'm paying $400 for
Yeah, that's just not. You know how bad would you have to want an album to pay even $200? Bum, would that ever happen as a collector?
Yeah, that would be the thing.
No, not unless the music was unavailable any other way.
Yeah.
Would I do it then? Yeah, but I just can't picture. Well, there still are things not available digitally that you can only get on vinyl LP. There are still some things.
It's funny because with vinyl making a boom like it is, there's some stuff that is literally only coming out on vinyl first
Yeah.
for a minute, and then it's available. You know,
Yeah.
do you see people giving up, or maybe not giving up might be the wrong words to use, but do you see more people putting aside their monthly membership fees to buy actual records?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think for most people, still streaming is going to be primary. Records or physical media is going to be secondary
Yeah.
for most people.
Physical media is now, I hate to say it, physical media is now a niche market.
It is, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Mark,
It's
do
a
you
growing
remember?
niche. It's not shrinking anymore. It's growing, which is good.
Yeah,
It's going to be around for a while, but yeah, it is. It's still only
a
um,
small percent of the
vinyl.
market.
They said vinyl sales hit it at whatever they did last year, which is still only like 2% or 3% of total music sales between downloads and all that other stuff.
Joe, vinyl is craft beer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and not even on the craft beer level, but it's got enough of a niche to where it's worthwhile for the people in that niche. It's worthwhile for them to do it. So there's the pressing plants are getting equipment to press with, because there's a value in there. There's enough in there where everybody can make money on all sides, right? So the people that make the equipment to press with, that's where it starts, really. If there's no market, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure. I think at one point we might have been down to like, I don't know how many dozen vinyl pressing plants left in the world at one point, like in
Yeah.
1990.
Honestly, yeah, we were down to, because that's where we're at with cassettes. Cassettes is just starting to come back. Like vinyl's already been making a resurgence over 5 years now,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
six.
more than that, like 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, 10 years. And cassettes, it's just over the last maybe
Yeah.
handful of years, and so you're starting to see, even right now, there's only so many people that make the heads, and I think there's only one, and they're still in China, and that's why.
Right.
So you'll find new cassette decks, and you're thinking, "Oh wow,
Right. Right.
great!"
Well, even beyond that, now you know, like we said, vinyl never died, but it was on life support. Cassettes, they were on their deathbed, but they never totally disappeared. So it's not shocking. You could, I still remember even like 5 years ago in Walmart being able to buy blank recordable cassettes in Walmart. So there was,
Speaking of Walmart, and speaking of Target and those kind of stores, they're selling vinyl.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
which is another place, and it's not all. I would assume it's the bigger markets, uh, meaning like Phoenix is a market where some of our Walmarts have vinyl, some of our Targets have vinyl. Not all Walmarts and Targets, but some. Um, but what you can do, and what's kind of cool, is right now you could go on Walmart.com and do a search for your vinyl and pick it up, and that's super cool. So that's even faster than Amazon for some of us. Some of us have 2-hour service with Amazon. In our market.
Some of us have 28 bazillion gigabits per millisecond service.
Yeah, that's true. And thank you for that, Mark, because there was also a recent announcement from Amazon on Prime Music. If you're familiar, if anybody is familiar with Prime Music, they announced Prime Music HD. So they announced a competitive product with another streaming music service called Tidal, which also streams in high quality. They announced their version of high quality music. They're calling it Prime Music HD and Prime Music Ultra HD, which it's limited as far as how many different platforms you can actually hear the HD on. But it is available if you're a Prime member for $13 a month, Mark. $12.99.
Yes, I think it is $12.99.
If you're a Prime member. If not, then is it 15 or something?
15 or 16. Yeah,
Yeah.
they still undercut. They still undercut like Tidal and
MQA or
they undercut even whatchamacallit,
Cadobo.
Spotify. I don't
Well,
know.
Spotify don't even have one yet, right?
No, but what's their stand? Is their standard like $9 a month? I think
I-
they've got 3, but then they got the regular one for $9 a month or something.
I actually have no idea. I'm not a Spotify user, so I don't have.
I used their free account for a couple months, about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't have. I think the obstacle these days for a lot of folks is a lot of people have these little speakers nowadays, if they have any. A lot of people are earbuds or earphones only, and they're not necessarily the type of earbuds or earphones that would get any higher resolution that they would know the difference. Not necessarily high resolving sort of earbuds or earphones. So,
Yeah.
but there's a resurgence there as well. There's a lot of people getting into high quality audio, but they're getting into it with earbuds and earphones. Desktop sort of amps and preamps and all of that. I am not into that part of it. That's for sure, because I am single. If I want to hear some stuff, I just play it. I don't have to worry necessarily about how loud it is.
You have to do what I do, which is after Pam goes to bed, I either have to keep the speakers low, or if I want to listen louder, I got to put on the headphones.
Right, which is I'm a niche person, right? Because the overall majority of people either live in a townhouse, condo, or apartment, even if they are single, or they have someone else in their home with them. So, oh my God, Jay Vegas comment. Oh my God.
Oh, let me see.
Not safe for share beer.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. I'm not going to mention it, but yeah, I'm not going to quote it. Rather, I did mention it, but I'm not going to quote it. But yeah,
That's PC, not.
Yeah, that's the opposite of PC right there. Yeah, that's the Making America Great Again version of PC.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you enjoyed the movie then.
Yeah. I actually, what do you think about that? In his comment, he mentions Last Blood, which is the Rambo, right? Is that? I happen to be. I just like Rocky. If he were to make another Rocky, I swear to God, I hate him because I'll have to watch it. Rambo's the same sort of deal for me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm not gonna see it in theaters. I'll wait till it hits DVD or something. But what are your thoughts on the Rambos or those sorts of franchises like that? Rockies. Is Last Blood a movie you'll have to see?
I don't think so. I don't know. Is that like the 4th one in the series? 4th or 5th?
Yeah, it's up there. I don't even know. I don't know if I can count that high, but
How old is Sylvester Stallone? He's got to be 70 now. At this
Early
point.
70s.
yeah, pretty damn old. Yeah.
No, he's right in that age range. I mean, yeah, he's Vietnam vet age, you know.
Yeah.
We had a friend who was a real life Rambo. He passed about 5 years ago, but yeah, he didn't look like Sylvester Stallone, but he did the same kind of stuff and crazy stuff. That's for sure. He made it to age 65 and a half, and then he died. So.
Oh man.
I personally am holding that for Tango and Cash too.
Well, before we go, there's one last thing I wanna show you guys, because Mark knows, maybe Bum knows too, but Mark
Go
knows
Rams.
I am a big consumer of this particular thing. So I wanted to show this because there's actually not a lot on it when it concerns a lot of people are into dieting these days. A lot of people don't eat this and they don't eat that, or they eat more of this and they eat less of this for health reasons, right? And where it concerns milk, there's not a lot of information about it. So I drink a lot of craft milk. As Mark probably knows, I have a dairy farm that is just a mile from my house, and so I buy craft milk. They put it in glass bottles. Well, there's this piece from CNN that came out that says which drink is best for hydration. Hint: it isn't water. Well, just how I love lists, and so here's the list. The research team at St. Andrews University tested 13 common beverages to see how they impact hydration. Here's what they found, ranked from most hydrating over a 4-hour period to least. Skim milk, number one on the list, kids. Oral rehydration solutions like Pedialyte or liquid Ivy, right? What's the third one on the list? So really, you're not going to be sipping Pedialyte all the time or having an IV. So really, I skipped that one out. The top two on the list are skim milk and full fat milk.
Yeah.
Ain't that something, kids?
Yeah.
And guess what else is on here? Orange juice, cola, then Diet Cola, cold tea, regular tea, sports drink, and then still water.
Yeah.
And then sparkling water. What's after water, kids? Lager. Yes!
Yeah.
We are on the list. And then coffee. So boom! Beer will hydrate you. Shut up.
High gravity lager.
Gravity lager. Yeah. Malt liquor. Malt liquor is the best rehydrator ever. I think Colt 45 should be a sponsor for like the Iron Man. When you get there to the Iron Man, you get a 40 on Colt 45.
So cheers to the number 11 most hydrating beverage that you could drink. Lager. Salute.
Yeah. So how's that going down, Bum?
Oh, it's been gone for a while.
Yeah, and Bum's actually the only one actually having a lager right now.
Yeah. Would you have it again?
Yeah, sure, if somebody gave it to me.
Okay. You're not going to shell out money, though, for it. Nah.
There was no honey, and it certainly wasn't brown.
Yeah, okay.
Vegas says straight up revenge flick. And then Lords of Flatbush.
Yeah, early Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Lords of Flatbush, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Jay Vega is right on top of things. That dude's got some knowledge. He does.
Don't give him too much credit. Some knowledge.
No, just the fact that he would know Lords of Flatbush.
No.
Vega is on top of things.
He's a Stallone fan.
Yeah. But thank you guys for what should we call this?
Inaugural.
The inaugural what?
The inaugural new
spectacular.
The inaugural or just share a beer in another direction, or another evolution of share a beer.
We'll come up with something during the week.
The next evolution of Sharer beer. That could be the title of this show. Another Sharer beer page. The next page.
Don't title it yet. We'll come up with something. There's a perfect title waiting to be thought up. None of us have just thought it up yet.
Yeah. We just haven't thought of it yet. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. What do you? How would you rank yourself there, Mark? What do you think about it?
I think it went pretty good. I mean, if we just do a couple, like each week, just a couple things we
Right.
listen to or that are appropriate given time of year.
Sure.
Unfortunately, celebrating an artist, remembering an artist passing, or
Which
celebrating.
there's going to be plenty of those.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we've got a couple, and there's one in 2 weeks, and I don't know. You probably don't. Yeah, you might know it, Bum, if you know a little bit about jazz. But if not, I'll reveal it next week. It has a double meaning for me. Two important connections to me. Is the jazz artist.
You can't give a hint here.
Someone born on the same day as me, and in the same town as I was born in.
And this is somebody alive right now.
No, no.
Oh.
Long since left the earth. But
okay.
One of the icons in the jazz world.
Now, maybe another hint was the Earth flat then?
Possibly, yeah. He probably did have. It is a he, and he probably did have a few malt liquors. In his time.
And what instrument did he play when he was on the flat Earth?
Percussion.
Okay.
So you've got that. That's your homework, because I'm not going to be here next week.
And when's your birthday again?
What's that? 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might be able to figure it out.
I won't be here. I won't be here next week, or maybe I'll pop in for a little bit. We've got the Pinky Out Symphony starts next week.
Oh boy, symphony season. Here we go.
Yeah, symphony season. So I'll pop in for a minute or so.
Okay.
Awesome, man. This was great. I can't tell you guys how excited I am for this new segment here. I think this will definitely evolve into something. We'll see. I don't know exactly what, but it will.
That piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Consider yourself on the list.
Shout out to you, sir.
And another thing, that bummer Fred, whatever your freaking name is, bum.
Whether he's here or not, he's here with us in spirit. And
Do us all a fucking favor, Mark. Just fucking end it.
Out of the way, Crusher.
Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, we will end this show. Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it, man. We'll see you. Peace out.
See you next week.
All right.